Hey, editor. I just had a flashback. I'm sitting at my web design job. Suddenly, three new interns joined the Slack channel. I'm thinking, we must be growing well. A couple minutes go by. My boss called me to let me go. I was beyond pissed. He didn't even tell me why. And here I was thinking I was a valuable asset to this web design company. After all, they were nice and encouraging towards me until my replacements were there. Man, that experience taught me that I needed to become irreplaceable at something, but I didn't learn the lesson well enough. Fast forward a few years, I'm editing with Will Tennyson, living my dream. Every video's hitting millions of views, comments praising my work. Finally felt like I had made it until Will texted me, "I hired an agency for this edit. What do you think?" My jaw hit the floor. Is he trying to replace me? I video called him immediately, angry, and asked why he would do that. All those feelings from getting fired came flooding back. That fear of being disposable again. Now, he assured me that he was just trying to lighten my load, but I still felt threatened. I clicked to watch this evil agency's edit. I was kind of nervous going into it because I was thinking their editing must be better than mine. I mean, they're an agency. But then I watched it. Their edit was mid, boring, dull, corporate, lifeless. I said, "Will, did you watch the edit?" He said, "Yeah, I found it boring." Guys, my eyes and brain lit up. I saw an opportunity. I was going to focus on making an edit so good that the audience would rewatch it multiple times just to feel the emotion again. And that's when I remembered something from my favorite class in college, psychology. My professor, I remember he said, "It's not about what you do, it's about how you make people feel." So I stopped just picking something groovy for the music, groovy for the music. I cut out all the repetition from the video because I only wanted the highlights of the highlights of the highlights, which required me to watch the video like 5 or 6 times. But it was worth it because I had to watch it without music or visuals. If you can watch a 16-minute video without all the fancy stuff on it, that means you genuinely have a good story that's not just covered in a bunch of editing makeup. I didn't even mention that in the email, by the way. So yeah, you guys get a little secret advantage listening to these audio lessons. So shh, don't tell anybody. But that was the secret. Because the agency's edit was so dull and lifeless, all I need to do is just make something the audience wants, and my edit will be superior. It's as simple as that. You could tell the agency had done 30 edits that month and they were just cranking it out. But with mine, you could tell that there was a soul in it. I didn't settle on music unless it made me teary-eyed, inspired, or gave me chills. I remember doing the final scene, tearing up when the strings and the music timed perfectly with the voice. Now I sent it off to Will and he messaged me and said, "This is the best edit you've ever done in your life and there's no changes." Oh my gosh, bro. That feels so good. It got 1.4 million views. 90% of the comments were about the editing. And from that point forward, I discovered the true power of human psychology. Suddenly, I became truly irreplaceable. You need edits that make clients think, "I cannot lose this person." You need edits that create involuntary emotional responses. You need edits that audiences can't stop thinking about. It's not about trendy graphics or fancy effects. It's about becoming psychologically irreplaceable. And when you master the psychology behind what makes people feel something, you'll never have to worry about work again. Now, tomorrow, I'll reveal exactly how to steal my psychological secrets to make you an elite editor that effortlessly attracts high-paying clients. Y'all have a good one.